it's just me, the internet's, and perhaps one of the world's least relevant humans. I am the underconfident human. Just having some fun, getting a little ASMR session in today. So, the first thing I should tell you before we begin is, Привет, как дела? Я не говорю по-русски. Я не понимаю по-русски. I don't speak Russian. I don't really know Russian. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, I really got obsessed with Russia for a while. Not so much politics and things like that, but the language and the alphabet and the music and some of the culture. As such, I wanted to try to teach myself Russian. It didn't take me a super long time to give up, but in that time, I used to make flashcards for myself out of index cards and practice the alphabet. I can at least read and write the print version of the Cyrillic alphabet. I don't fully know how certain letters change other letters precisely, but I can generally sound out the things I see written in Russian, even if I don't know what they mean. I also had a bunch of CDs and some books, a couple movies and magazines imported that I'd bought on eBay and the such. Lots of Russian chanson, like Grupa Butyrka, Piatletka, Mikhail Shufutinsky, The Mummy's Troll, and some hip-hop like Crack and Bad Balance, and a bunch of just miscellaneous stuff, just to try to absorb the language. The thing about Russian, though, I eventually gave up trying to learn it by myself because I guess I lack the energy and the motivation mentally to. I think Russian is too complicated for my brain to absorb by myself. I never got the chance to hang out with any Russian-speaking people, which is what I think you'd really need. Now, they say that you're never too old to learn a language. I'm too old. I'm past the point of I'm long. I still listen to some of that music from time to time, and I do admire. I think the Russian language is far more technical and intelligent than American English, by far. But with things like cases and I don't know, Russian is just, I think that someone like myself could not learn that without having an actual Russian speaker to sit down and spend time with and learn from. It's a very complicated language to me. But one of the easiest parts of the Russian language is actually learning the alphabet. Not too difficult. And so our ASMR for today, if you'd care to hang out with me, is to simply enjoy some sounds and look at the Russian alphabet. I found a thing online that I have no idea why the hell someone even made this thing. But it's a metal sign of the Ruski alphabet. Ruski alphabet. It was always funny to me how some languages, including Russian, you roll that R. You don't just say you say Ruski. Ruski, the Russian. So as you can see, this metal sign is the Russian alphabet. And it's got a English phonetic pronunciation underneath of it. myself Russian, I probably would have just studied this instead of making myself flashcards. So, with the halls, I bought this sign just to stick up on my wall somewhere. It's an unusual decoration to be sure, but again, I really do like the Cyrillic alphabet. To me, it's just kind of, I don't know if beautiful is the right word, but I think Cyrillic is just a far more, maybe it's just because, I'm native to the United States and I grew up with American English, and I'm so used to our alphabet that something as different as this, and yet I can still wrap my mind around this. There ain't no way in hell I would ever want to learn or even look at Arabic and Indian languages and the such. Nah, I think that's too much for my brain to comprehend. But I think even before I really got into trying to study Russian, I had a fascination with this alphabet. That may be a small piece of what prompted me to start getting interested. I don't really know. But anyway, what do you say that we go through and have a look? Starting with ah, kind of like the English A. Ah, as in father. Ah. Be. That's like the equivalent of B. Be. Ve. Closer to a V. Ge. Not gay. Ge. Like gecko. And this character, De, which is D. De. De. A. Be. Fue. Ge. De. A. Be. Fue. Ge. De. Next up, yeah. Kind of like, yeah. Yeah. Yo. The two dots on the top seem to take the yeah to yo. Yeah. I know they wrote it phonetically here with kind of a TZ. I'm not sure if I don't say it that way. I just kind of say it the way I learned it. Yeah. 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 Z. Like a Z. Z. E. The backwards N. It's an E. E. Like T. Yeah. Yo. She. Z. E. Yeah. Yo. She. Z. E. A. Be. Fue. was sitting and reading me this same alphabet, I'd be in love. Because it's sexy. Russian babes. Love Russian babes. Anyways, moving on. Maybe we should cover this one more time up here. What do you think? A, B, F, G, D, Y, Yo, Sh, Z, I, Y, K, L, M, N. Now we move on. O. The O is in fact O. P. The P sound, equivalent to the English P. 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 So O, P. Do you get the transition here? A little bit of that familiar feeling. K, L, M, N, O, P. K, L, M, N, O, P. R, R. That is the English equivalent of R. It's not a P. R. And it's Russian, so of course that gets rolled. Because you can't just say error, like error, or air you breathe. Error, air. O, P, R, S. That is S, 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 T, which is T. Of course, that one's actually a T. T. So, O, P, R, S, T. O, P, R, S, T. O, P, R, S, T. This, which in either way looks kind of like a lowercase y, but that's ooh. 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 Now down here, this awesome character is an F. Exactly what F. R-S-T, ooh, F, ha, ha, ha. Not quite ka with a sharp K, but you have to kind of roll it with an H sound. Ha. Ooh, F, ha. C. Definitely a character that's like some of these that don't quite have an English equivalent to me, but C. C. This phonetic pronunciation here is about what it sounds like. C. Sh. Sh. So, ooh, F, ha, C, sh. C, sh. Ooh, F, ha, C, sh. Ooh, F, ha, C, sh. So, before we move down to the last two, what do you say we just give it a quick run? A, B, F, G, D, Y, Yo, Sh, Z, I, Kran, K, Y, K, L, M, N, O, P, R, S, T, U, F, H, C, Sh. You get it? One video that I used that I've never found again, I've looked for it a couple times over the years, was a performance of the American alphabet song, but let me rephrase that. The Russian alphabet performed to the tune of the American alphabet song. For some reason, that did kind of help me memorize the flow a little bit. That was early on. because eventually I had to do the flashcards so that I could try to memorize the letters rather than memorize the damn song. You know what? Let's take a break. If you've ever watched my absolutely craptastic ASMR channel, and be sure to like and subscribe. I hear that the algorithm likes it if you actually say that. Anyway, if you follow my craptastic low budget ASMR channel, you should know by now that one of my personal favorite sounds is tapping. Faster tapping or slower tapping. Enough slacking off. Let's get back to work. Now these two, slightly confusing to me, but this sound right here, shaw. This one right here, also played back when studying the alphabet, sounds like shaw. But that little line gives it an extra, I guess, a little not that's too sharp, but shaw, 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 shaw. Do you hear that? I don't even know 100% if I have that correct, but that's just kind of how I try to shaw, 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 shaw. All because of that little. What the real difference between these two represents in terms of the alphabet and in terms of reading words, I have no freaking clue. But regardless, shaw, shaw. Another thing that doesn't have any English translation, the Fjordisnacht and Makisnacht, which we'll get to. The Fjordisnacht, if I have this correct, means this is a character that doesn't have a sound. Definitely a concept that is foreign to English, is that there is a letter that doesn't, it's not a letter though, it's more of a symbol. It's considered a letter of the alphabet in Russian, but it has no sound and it never stands on its own. This and this are symbols that affect directly the sound, the letter that they're attached to, that they're next to. So at the Fjordisnacht, to Fjordisnacht, to Fjordisnacht, to Fjordisnacht, to Fjordisnacht. That's the name of this letter, to Fjordisnacht. That makes a sound hard. I think the difference between like, I don't know, a k and a k, like really laying into it. I'm sure that some Russian speaker out there might be able to better assist, but generally, this is a character that denotes the sound in front of it. The letter in front of it is going to be pronounced hard tonation, if you will. But anyway, to Fjordisnacht. This is another one I struggled with. This is one character, what looks like a lowercase b and an I beside each other to an English I. But this one character is kind of like the I sound in icky, but there's also an element where it sounds kind of like your tongue's against the roof of your mouth. I don't do it very well, but like, not quite, like, love, like, that's not the L, it's not an L sound, but you tongue against your top of your mouth, and it's an you kind of combine the two, so again, I don't know if I'm 100% explaining this correctly, and the phonetics below it here make no sense because it's just a letter I and an I, comma, Y. But excuse me, kind of saying like it, but doing so with your tongue against the top of your mouth. So I went out, it's So again, sha, sha, to fjord is not sha, sha, to fjord is not sha, sha, to fjord is not Next, down here, makisnat, makisnat, makisnat. Makisnat is similar to tevordisnat in that this symbol here means the sound preceding it is soft. So a softer emphasis or softer tonation than the hard symbol, soft symbol. This really small character, again, would generally be written before, I believe, the letter that it's attached to change its sound. So yeah, an alphabet with two letters that can never exist on their own, that have no sound of their own, by themselves, no sound. They affect the sound they're attached to. And then finally, not like but this thing here, you. I kind of remembered this one by this design here. These two are attached to each other. I need you. You. And the backwards are, the Cyrillic character is Ya. Mak is not. You. Ya. Miak is not. Not a. Like cut that off at the end. You. Ya. Miak is not. You. Ya. So, what do you think? Shall we do this? Be fue que te yo je se I krakoye KLM in O P R S T U F C Ch Sha Sha Tvjord is not Mak is not you ya. Let me do this with my finger this time. Be fue que te yo je se I krakoye KLM in O P R S T U F C Sh Sha Sha Tvjord is not Mak is not you ya. and genders and how all those things tie together, how many different ways there are to say one thing. At my age, I'm in my 40s, not terribly old yet, but definitely not a kid. I don't know that I'd even have the capacity to study a language at this point, but I'd have to be really motivated